Oh.
We're off to a good start.
Yes, we are. I'm Tira Adams.
And I'm Tuesday Blue, and this is What the F Are You Doing Here?
Xena Warrior Princess edition.
Season 1.
Season 1.
5 more seasons to go.
Yes.
So I really struggled to start watching this series because it is very 90s style, and so it's very slow, the acting is very melodramatic, the special effects are obviously like 90s special effects, so I was just going, oh man, I don't know that I'm going to make it through 24 episodes like this. But like by the 4th episode I started going, okay, like I'm used to it now, I can like focus on the story and stop being so critical of how we used to watch shows. Yeah. Did you have any difficulties with that?
No, I went in guns a-blazing and then found like some disappointment like midway. It was like maybe that second episode because they weren't really into it. So I was like, yeah, we're watching Xena. Can't wait to do this. Yeah. And maybe I'll do a workout. I was making all these different plans. We'll do a workout in Comsit. I know these stunt people. We'll do like a video on that. We'll put it on social media. And then I got through the pilot, and it was like, you know what pilots are. And then it was like that second episode, and Gabrielle was still being Gabrielle. Yeah. And I think that's the hardest part, because Gabrielle, like, when she first starts out, and you're like, okay, young sidekick. And she's like very, gee golly, wow. Yeah. And very holy strawberry Xena. Was so annoying. We're just going to fix this. And she's talky. And like, I came to the conclusion, because it's right around like the third, like 4th or 5th, when they're trying to do stuff with her, is that Gabrielle was the problem and she was also the solution. Because when they gave, it's not even that they gave Gabrielle something to do, when they gave her character like a purpose, because there's whole episodes in that first like maybe 6 like episode range where she just completely disappears, you know, for long stretches of time, and it's Xena doing stuff. And
we don't even question that she's gone.
No. Right. And in some ways it's kind of grateful, because she was like chit-chatting away. But once they gave her, which they take a while, they give her some purpose, they make Xena be like, I really want to save this person, I'm not annoyed by it. And it's like no, they really lean into it at the first bit. They're like, Gabrielle is annoying, and she's annoying Xena.
And she's annoying the audience.
So I feel they lean into it and make her extra annoying. And then they turn it around by the time, like, what is that, episode 10 or 12, when the Amazon show up. And they really give her a purpose. They're like, we're going to make her an Amazon princess.
And even then, I was still kind of annoyed with her. Why are you the way that you are?
But then the characters in that episode are annoyed with her. Like, Effany really doesn't like her. No. Like, Xena at one point, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen, she just pushes her out of frame. Just like,
get out of my way.
Get out of my way. Yeah. And like, they're like, okay, we're going to make you an Amazon princess. We're going to give you a weapon that you're not going to use for 3 episodes. Yep. But then we're also going to give you a new outfit. So it makes sense. Right. And then it's like, okay, so she's once she starts getting a little more active, and then starts questioning things, like, I don't know, maybe I should go home. Like, I don't belong here. Like, maybe I should become a bard professionally and really go to this academy. And it's like, when they give her active choices, after leaning into how annoying she was, and she's still quite annoying, and then Xena's like, yeah, she's annoying, but she's my friend.
She's my person.
Yeah, she's my person.
She's my annoyance.
That she gets better. And I think it's really interesting, but it's also indicative of the show that every time something goes wrong, they just kind of lean into it, and they know that, like, those special effects were bad in 94, because I didn't believe any of that, but like
I was thinking back to like when I was a kid though, watching it, I don't think I questioned a single thing, because I was just like, cool. Xena's doing jumps and flips and like doing all this cool stuff. So I don't care that the animation is bonkers. Or like, I don't know what they were like. Are they like sirens of the underworld? Those like flying bat people?
Oh yeah,
because that was some awful animation.
Oh yeah.
That they're trying to interact with the real people. And you're like, this is not working.
Triads or harpies.
Okay, yeah.
Because that's an insult they use all the time. You son of a harpy, and you're like, okay, cool.
I think one of the episodes, Gabrielle said, like, son of a griffin, but she was so quiet on griffin that for a second I was like, did you curse on TV? No, you said griffin. But I do like when Gabrielle does, like, start using the staff to fight. I think, like, that's great. And I like that Xena's like, you can't use a sword because once you kill someone, like, you're never the same, or whatever she had said. So it makes sense that she's like, all right, Gabrielle can fight using the staff. Like, it's helpful, but she's not causing true harm to people the way Xena used to in the past. So I do like that. It also makes the fight scenes more exciting that she's not just kind of a body in the way who needs to be saved.
Come with me over by this tree.
Right. Or like that one episode where, it's towards the end, I think, of the first season where there's bandits in every episode, which is like so annoying to me. But they like appear and have this kind of battering ram, and she's like, that's the episode where she's not sure she needs to go home. She was like, oh, I almost got a phone kill. It's like, yeah, you need to learn how to fight because you are helpless.
Yeah.
So that was good.
I feel bad because that episode, the beginning of that episode, you're like, okay, it sets up a really good problem, and you're like, okay. But then at the same time, watching that scene, I was like, you didn't even have to get on the ground. You could have just stepped to the side. Yeah. It could have been fine. You had like so much room.
So much
and
space.
so much time.
Yeah.
It was literally.
But then she was like, oh, I just.
Yeah, that wagon was walking towards you. Yeah. Like, they were on the ground. Even Xena was on the ground for a long time.
Before she finally swoops her leg out. Yeah. It's like, come on.
She took a nap.
Like,
what's happening?
Yeah, there's a lot of things where I'm like, okay, this is silly.
Yeah. So since we're talking about Gabrielle, let's jump into like themes.
Okay.
Because I was going to do characters, but let's talk about themes because that also goes along with Gabrielle. Where when they give her, like I said, something to do, it really goes along a character about, first of all, it's just plain innocence. Gabrielle is innocent.
Yeah, just clueless.
Yeah. And then they kind of, for 2 moments, dig into the virginity part because there's like one whole episode she was like, stop saying that.
She's the virgin goddess.
Yeah. It just becomes kind of about her blood innocence for a while, and that's a really good theme because then it carries on for the rest of the series from Gabrielle being like, I just want to go on adventures with you, to now getting a weapon, like, yeah, I want to fight, to now literally choosing to fight for good, but choosing not to kill. And it becomes about her blood innocence, and then that becomes important. I think there's like a marker episode in every season where it's a test of her. Well, even like the season finale, it was like she saved a person that she would have left her for dead, and gets her nearly killed.
Right, where like in that instance it's acceptable because that person already injured you. So cool. But yeah, that she was still like, no, I'm not gonna take revenge or kill this person.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think that theme is a nice contrast to Xena's arc too, because Xena's like learning how to be less cruel. So I think it is like a nice balance of her in most of the first few episodes, and then they kind of die down. They're talking about how like everyone's horrified of her when she comes to the village because they don't think she's gonna be helpful. So I think they did that well because they don't really show what Xena's done in the past. They just kind of hint at it. So having this like very innocent character and then someone who sounds like she's done a lot of bad things is a good way to like separate their characters and make them sort of an odd pair.
Yeah.
As they come around.
Yeah. I think it's And like Xena's whole road is to redemption. Like I try to think about like, because it is the spin-off of Hercules. It's like, well, I kind of remember those episodes, but I was not a big Hercules fan. So like I came into Xena and she led me to Hercules. That's how that went.
I don't even remember
Yeah.
how, like, which one came first for me as a kid.
Yeah, the chicken or egg. Yeah, I think oddly enough, when I was trying to sit there and think about it, it was Briscoe County Jr. because it was like Bruce Campbell.
Nobody else knows that show.
I know. It was like
I have told so many people, and they're like, "No," I'm like, "It's Bruce Campbell," and they're like, "I don't."
Yeah, it's like, how do you not know? It's only one season. They kept showing it.
Yeah.
But I was watching that, and I think I was flipping around, and then
Came across Xena.
And he was on Xena
Yeah,
that one episode.
When that episode came up, I was like, what?
Yes, and he's so good.
He is. Well, he's like the character he always plays, but it's funny the way that they did fit him in.
Yeah, but that was, I think that was my first episode of Xena I ever seen, and then I wound up coming back to it. So I didn't see that first half. I probably would have watched it if I saw the pilot, and I didn't see.
I know, right? It's like
those Xena episodes of Hercules until years later, and I was like, well, this isn't. What is this? It was like a 3.
What is this?
Yeah, it was a 3-episode arc, and it was another. It was just so weird to think because she was like a villain of the week, and they knew they were going to give her a 3-episode arc just to have like Hercules really have some. I think they were trying to build her up like she was like Hercules is like Callisto.
Okay.
And like so, but then. I think they were watching the playback, and then the production company was like, "Wait a minute, Lucy Lawless is awesome. Let's give her her own show."
Yeah, I did a little bit of research, but not much, and it was like they had no intentions of making a show, but then they saw the ratings for those episodes, and were like, "Oh, sweet."
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
And they haven't even like finished the first season of Hercules, so she has this whole like she comes into a show with this redemption arc. Which is weird because she's almost a little. It's like someone who just came out of rehab, where it's like I'm gonna be as good.
I'm gonna try, to change my old ways. Yeah.
And I think that bloodlust that pops up with her, and it's like we talk about this first season, but like later seasons, it's even better when Gabrielle is really able to argue with her.
Okay.
And those like
when
tension
she has
moments.
more like. A firm grasp on who she is.
Yeah, because there's, I just remember like with this pairing, there's a lot of arguments of what we should do in this situation. And Xena at first is very much like, we are going to see these people, under the guise of we're going to see these people, is clearly like she just wants to fight.
Yes, she really does enjoy fighting. And sometimes you're like, I don't know. You probably could have talked your way out of that, but I think you just wanted to have a little hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, you just wanted to punch that dude.
And then tell Gabrielle not to use violence.
Yeah.
It's like, let me do all that.
There was an episode somewhere, I don't even remember where, it's like, you hear the punching outside, and Gabrielle's like, put a cold compress on it, so she is obviously so used to Xena just like decking someone, and knowing they kind of didn't deserve it, that she's like, oh, just put a compress on it.
We'll help you, a little bit. I do like, though, they do, on occasion, Gabrielle does have more power, but, like, she does have influence. Because you'll see sometimes where she's like, oh, like, we can talk our way out of this, or she'll, like, try to hint that violence is not necessary. As if, like, she is almost the voice in the back of Xena's head. It's like, no.
Yeah. They do utilize her like that. And then the episode where Ares is trying to lure her back.
Oh, yeah.
Which is kind of like spoiler by pretending to be her dad. But like
yeah, I was like, what is happening in this episode? Who is this man really?
Yeah, you're waiting for the twist that whole episode. That's why I feel like it's not a spoiler, but it's like that's not her dad. You're just waiting.
And she knows it's not her dad for most of the episode also.
Until like he tells her what clearly like in hindsight Ares overheard. And it's like, okay, I don't know why that brought you over to this side, but that last confrontation where Xena's bloodlust just sparks up and she's like, I'm going to kill everybody in this village because you hurt my dad. And Gabrielle literally, for the first time, like, puts her down, like, with this whack, knowing that if she got up, she could probably certainly die. But I think that's indicative to their two characters. They're finally finding a way for them to work together.
To both be, Yeah, I do also like Xena's Bloodlust also comes up in like the second to last episode with Callisto.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And that I was like, it's clear how they set it up that Callisto's going to come back in the future. And I'm like, that's cool because I do like seeing them duel instead of it's just Xena versus like dudes who don't really know what they're doing because they're just part of an army.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, she's not her match. It's our actual cool fight scenes and like it's a little bit more exciting than just her crushing dudes all day.
Yeah. Or it's like Callisto. I'm glad you brought it up because Callisto is probably in that series one of my favorite characters. Even though she's like antagonist / villain, which is like this is like all the embodiment of Xena's past come back in physical form to hurt her. And I know her name is Hudson. I don't remember her last name, but she's so like,
the actress. I don't know.
It's like she's so good. Like from beginning to end, from the moment like she shows up and like which begins with child murder, by the way.
Yeah,
like,
but it is kind of I don't know if like poignant's the right word, but when you learn that like it was a lot of the people died because of a fire, and then Xena's in this is going to be all spoilers for the first season, but it's from the 90s, so
yeah,
it's okay.
You had time.
But then when Xena's like in the jail and it's on fire, it's like, ooh, like that was actually some pretty good storytelling.
And she was totally waiting for that too. Like she had already gotten out of the cuffs. Yep. And she was like so like messing with her.
She was like, "Oh, you're gonna save me." Oh, okay, sure.
She's so good. Like that whole episode where she's just chipping away at Xena. Like the whole episode, like, are you gonna kill me? You're not gonna kill me? Well, guess what? I don't care. Because it's like
because she knows Xena's on her like redemption tour, and it's like, but can it last?
Yeah, and she puts that like out there, like these billion notifications. So
that's what happens when you put your phone down for like a few minutes. It just gets crazy.
Yeah,
but yeah, she's a cool character. The other character I really like, which is he's really annoying, is that salesman who I think his name is like Salmon Ellis or something like that.
Oh yes, I made myself learn to pronounce it Salmonius because that becomes a rolling joke.
He is so funny.
They call him Salmonella at one point.
Yeah, he cracks me up because I'm like, he is just like a typical salesman who's so annoying, but it's cracking me up because he's just a nuisance and in the way, and it's very good comedic relief for someone who loves comedy as much as I do.
Yeah, the comedy in Xena is really on point from, I feel like the actors in Xena, they divide into two different type of actors, where you have, first of all, like, it's kind of great to see a show where everyone is invested in being there, regardless or whatever. Like, no one's really phoning it in. But the actors on there,
although some of it's just such bad acting.
Yeah, and that's
you're in the world. That's great, but
yeah, they're divided into the actors at the beginning of their like career who are so happy for a job, but so not,
so incapable,
not understand, incapable, or just not knowing how to chew on scenery. And then the actors, even if they're like actors of the week, being like, I know what this is. I'm going to chew on all of the scenery. I'm going to take this down. Take the tree down. I'm just like...
There was one person, I forget what her role was. Gabrielle's sister. Where like at the end of the episode, she's like, I'm so emotional. And I was like, this is actually some pretty good acting compared to everybody else. Yeah. Like you believe that she's actually upset. Where everyone else is being sad is like, oh, I'm so sad. You know?
I'm gonna kill Xena because she killed my son.
Right.
And, you know, some of the actors, they're just up there.
Like, wow.
Or like,
it's almost like as if like they are performing for theater, but haven't learned to like tone it back for film.
Yeah. Hence, like the first job is like I did community theater, and now which should lend to like to the betterness of it. But those who know how to like this is just crazy. Even it's like when she goes to the underworld and it's like that dude playing Sharon, the
yes,
fairy dude.
He also cracked me up.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
Hudson Lake. That is her name.
Oh. Which is not
Callisto.
ring any bells for me.
No, that's fine.
No, that's fine.
If you're at a Xena convention, that would matter. Outside of that, she's Callisto.
Great.
Maybe, if you remember.
That's the only name, other than like Xena and Gabrielle, that I've really... And Salmonius.
Yeah.
Because I mispronounced him.
Yeah. It took me a while to stop saying Bruce Campbell when it's Autolycus.
Oh, see, I didn't even learn the character's name. I was just like, Bruce Campbell!
Yeah. This week, Bruce Campbell is on it. It's like,
he travels to the past.
Autolycus, he's the king of thieves, and I love him so much.
Yeah. I hope he comes back. I don't remember whether he does or doesn't. He does?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be good.
Times.
I look forward to that.
I'm also looking forward to season 2. I looked ahead of those episodes and realized that all of my nostalgia
starts in season 2?
Yeah, it lies there. That is.
I didn't look ahead at all. Like, I'm just gonna be surprised by each episode.
Okay.
And so far it's had its pros and cons.
Yeah.
Some of them I'm like, this is not like really of all of them. I could have probably skipped this. But.
I wanted to be considerate of you. I was like, what am I going ahead? You don't have to worry until like season 4 when they go to India. And then you might hate me, but like.
Oh. You were right though. Like when they got to the Amazons, it started to pick up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like,
things are happening that have like real. I don't know what's the word. Consequences. Like if they don't do.
I think that's the hard thing. I think like we are so blessed now because like it wasn't until I really sat there I was like 24 episodes. Like in my head when I first suggested this, I had forgotten that TV used to move in 24 episodes.
Same
like that. And then like so I'm like, oh, this wouldn't take long, and it was like 13. I'm like, oh no, it's not 13 episodes, it's 24.
Yeah, I thought it was like 13 20-minute episodes or 25-minute episodes, and then we find out it's 24 45-minute episodes. Like, oh my god. This is a real time commitment.
Yes, it is. And I had to time it out, and then I didn't do it because after a while, it was that first half of that season. And but I think what's cool about TV before rather than now, it's like because of the 24 seasons, they would have that mid-season break, which the studio could really cut it at 13 episodes if they didn't think it was going. But that mid-season break with like a show like Xena or anything else, that's where a lot of fixes went. And like if you look at
the second half was a lot better, a lot easier to watch.
And that's where like if you watch an old TV shows, like characters would disappear, like and like blah blah blah, like and be never spoken about again. And it's like, oh, it all happened in that mid-season break, which I feel
they had some meetings.
Yeah, there were some meetings that happened at Xena. The thing is like they probably recorded some episodes. They definitely recorded out of order, and then or put them out of order because like like I said, Gabrielle gets her staff in episodes
and never
10.
Doesn't use it for a while.
Yeah, she doesn't use it for like 5 episodes. It's like, oh, you did this Amazon thing, and for whatever reason put it right here, but forgot to say why.
Yeah, we're like, so now what?
And so now when we see her with her staff again, we all of a sudden see her like she's kind of a badass. It's like took an intro course somewhere. On staff
which
training.
I kind of would have liked to watch because they have like when she's practicing towards the end of the season, it's like another moment of comedic relief. So I think that would have been nice earlier on when she's bad at using it.
Yeah, and
she's learning.
Yeah, I think that you know, you definitely would have done it in the first 10 episodes. Like, why not now? But
Yeah.
you know, she would have been, like, knocked herself out.
She would have knocked herself out. It would have been great, because then Xena would have been like, great, I can go do something else I want to do.
Yeah, while you're sleeping. Or, like, one of my favorite... it's like my favorite scenes. It's not like favorite episode. My favorite scenes of like when clearly they need to get rid of Gabrielle for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Where the episode where it's like the Abraham and Isaac.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like, you would take care of this person.
Yeah.
Anytime, because they did that even sort of, I feel like they did that a lot where they're like, you take care of this pregnant woman, or you take care of something else, like, get out of here.
Yeah. But they give her a little bit, like, leeway, the actress a little bit of leeway. It's like, before we go, though, you have, like, a couple of scenes, you know, a couple of moments to buy the audience back. And she's, like, clearly high.
Yeah.
Because she's, like, taking this breath that, and at least it's part of the plot.
When she's talking to her imaginary choir.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, and you find out, like, Xena induces, they've been drugging, someone's been putting drugs into
the bread.
The bread.
Yeah.
So, and only 2 people in this village did it. So she's like Sherlock Holmes right now because of what what Gabrielle is doing. And it's like, okay, at least you're making this part of the plot.
Right.
And we get a moment where she gets to shine before she just disappears for 20 minutes.
Yep, and then comes back and it's like, I'm going to be helpful again.
Yeah, and it's clearly wore off and there's no side effects. You're not starving or thirsty or whatever. You can kill yourself in the cave.
Yeah. You're alright in the long run. Yeah. I do think it's really cheesy that every other episode Gabrielle meets like some cute young man who's like nice. And I'm sure like if I was a teenager, I would feel for her more because I would have been in that same boat. But now that I'm an adult, I'm like,
yeah, the thirst is real on this show.
So real. It's like, oh, he's so nice. I think like he might be
my soulmate. And part of me wants him to be like, no, he's not.
Like, I hope he's evil now.
Yeah, not for later on. But yeah, if part of me, on the one hand, I was appreciative of that they're both trying to get some booty, where it's like Gabrielle's trying to like lock it down first.
She is.
But Xena is clearly like
she's more carnal.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, this is weird. Because, like, in Xena's case, like, thirst is real for either one of them. There's, especially in the first couple of episodes, there's a lot of implied rape. It is so much. It's, like, clearly they're
and
just...
she's like, nope.
Yeah, nope. But even with, like, every warlord comes a bunch of, like, village girls they have to save from like sexual slavery.
Yeah, they even called them like in the scene with her father. She like had to save the slave women, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
great.
And for that one, and I forgot about that episode, the one with the father. It's like, is she gonna turn out to be Aries because she's like, I volunteered as tribute. This chick is acting so weird.
Yeah, you're like, what's...
It's like, why do you want to go home, or why did you run off like that? But yeah, it's the thirst for like just like sex implied or whatever, or every other one like Xena's like dressed like a dancing girl. They really like dressing her in worse costumes than like her regular one. Yeah. I'm undercover as a 6 foot tall belly dancer.
Yeah, and a concubine. You're like, oh, okay.
It's all, which is fine because they kind of lean into it. And like I said, they lean into it, and then there's implied stuff. But like every other episode with Gabrielle, I met this boy, and blah blah blah, and so
and I'm getting like, cause she's always asking him questions as they're walking through the fields, like how much walking through the fields and getting to know people can you put into a TV show? Like apparently a lot.
Yeah, it's like The Hobbit, and we're walking. Walking.
We are on a journey to Mordor.
Yeah, literally. And like just zooming through the countryside, but at the same time, it's like I feel bad that as a child I thought this is what Greece looked like.
True.
Because I didn't know.
That's just like probably California.
It's New Zealand.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Which is explains some of the actors because then they pop up
because Lucy
later.
Lawless is from New Zealand, even though she has no accent.
Well, she does, but in her real life. If you ever watch her interviews,
No,
it's the craziest thing. I think the first time I
because
ever
it's
saw
so
that.
muted. Like there's no accent in the show that I would have just thought like, oh yeah, she's from LA.
Yeah, and it was like it was like.
So I gotta watch an interview.
The first time I ever seen her talk with her real voice.
Yeah.
And I didn't know she was from like a different country. I thought she was just like
wrong.
Yeah. I was like, you can do that?
That sounds like an authentic
well,
accent.
Yeah. You can do that. Well, like I like to this day, even after some training, I'm really bad with accents. I can hear different accents, but I can't like replicate it.
I can't even try.
Yeah, but you know, when you have an actor like that, where I
Talent.
Yeah, and then some of those other actors which are like from there, but you know, I just know because I think there was like a New Zealand boom, and then you see them pop up in different movies. Like I'm trying to think of this warlord or some soldier. He winds up popping up later. He's there several times in Xena. Which is kind of,
he doesn't have a name yet.
He does. He has several different names, and it's not worth remembering.
That's funny.
But then
I did not catch that at all.
Yeah, and then he pops up in like the Matrix as like the Colonel, as the leader.
That's funny.
And then like pops up
again.
again. Yeah, and again in like one of the Lord of the Rings. So it's like just knowing those faces because they pop up later. Which I have to say, Xena, we have to credit with giving us Carl Urban. That's my favorite.
When he came in, I was like, why does this person look familiar? And I had to look up his name. I was like, oh, that's right, because this is the face I'm familiar with. That is him so young. Yeah.
I literally shot up in my bed. I was like, oh my god, I forgot. I thought it was a different episode that he pops up, and then like baby Carl Urban just like tiptoes.
Yeah. That was such a funny episode, purely on like that now instead of Greek gods, they're talking about Christianity and like how the Greek gods are like not as advanced. Whatever
he's like chewing on scenery. He's like just giving a speech of speeches, and you're like, go, because we're gonna have so much fun later. You're gonna pop up so many different times, including as a caveman one day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I look forward to that.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
And then we get whenever Carl Urban, like he's one of my favorite like. I feel bad because I don't want to say like B-movie actors, but like it's what I would like aspire to.
At least he's a B-movie actor and not like a D-movie actor.
Yeah, but he's so good and charismatic. Like I will literally stop if I know that Carl Urban is in the movie. Like I watched a few moments of Pete's Dragon because he's in it because he's like Carl Urban. But you know, to feel like he's underused in something like Thor Ragnarok, it's like you didn't even use your Carl Urban well. Like what?
What do you know how to do?
What do you know how to do properly?
That's funny.
But Carl Urban sold me on Thor Ragnarok. I was like, another Thor movie, and then I was like, wait a minute, Carl Urban is in this.
That's right. I like gave up on all those superhero movies. So we've gone back to basics with Xena. Yeah. I forgot to mention one thing though when you were saying the like break between the first and second half. It seems like, but I could be wrong. That in the second half, that's when they start telling you more about Xena's like familial relationships and how like she doesn't really have a sister. Well, she doesn't have a sister, but she does have two brothers and like a mother, but they're not really strong relationships.
Yeah,
I like that development because they had showed her mom earlier, but we didn't really like talk about it after.
Yeah,
so I think that makes sense. Xena's like a lone wolf
in the world. We get to meet we almost get to meet Xena's whole family, and it's like her and two brothers and her mom. Her mom does pop up later. She becomes a character. Like I feel like I should know her name because she's gonna pop up.
We'll learn it when the episode comes. Well, it'll be part of our notes.
Yeah, we'll make sure to know her name. Yeah, it's like, and Ice Cream Man is here. Yeah.
I just see a note I wrote that was. The Force perspective was actually pretty good in the Titans episode.
Yeah,
that surprised me. They did look like giants.
Yeah, like I said, like there's so much. You're like, what? Like, what are you doing? And then like you see that, and you're like, okay,
yeah.
So it's cool.
You had someone on this episode who knew.
Who knew how to do that. And
Yeah.
then it's like animation and stuff where it's like whenever she does like a treadmill, like I think that's called the treadmill kick, where you jump up and you're like do 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 do.
Yeah.
Like,
That makes sense. If that's what it's called.
But then at the same time,
Yeah.
that's used in a whole bunch of stuff like around the time. That was a very 90s thing to do. Like
It's
now,
like an action gimmick.
yeah, like now in action we're getting a lot of what's called that scissor kick, where you, especially with the women, they jump on the head and like scissor down like that, and it's like it's being overused. That treadmill kick popped up in everything from Xena to Power Rangers to like I think
Power Rangers.
yeah, I think legit
Yeah.
movies tried to do it 1 or 2 times and people were like, what are you doing?
Yeah. It's like, this doesn't belong here.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's like, but then I could never figure out what's the difference between blue screen and green screen. But I do remember hearing, like, production-wise, they used a lot of blue screen, which I think is just, like, superimposing.
I think it's the same thing. It's just a different, depends on, like, what color is going to be in the scene as to what you need to use in the background.
Those are big words. I was like, I remember it's one of these things.
Like, there's 2 different colors. They gotta be for 2 different things.
Yeah, but that's the weird thing. They lean into like how hokey it is, which I think is just a hallmark. Like, this is produced by Sam Raimi, so he's got his fingerprints like all over it, which is like, we don't have the money, just go. And that, I feel like that's something he learned on The Evil Dead. It's like, look, we're all in the same boat. We all know it's like hyper reality. At the same time, like, for every moment of hyper reality that you buy into, and you're like, yeah, I get it. She's just gonna flip for no reason.
Because she can.
Because she can.
Yeah.
Or, you know, this particular fight, or now we have centaurs, or whatever.
That, I was like, hold on.
That's when you go,
They're centaurs.
yeah, which is fine. I don't know why. I was like, okay, so we got a centaur walking. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then, whenever they were running, they do that close up, and it was the funniest thing. It's like, I know I'm supposed to buy into this, but.
Well, then, I swear, and I probably didn't, but when the lady gives birth to the, like, half centaur baby at the end, I was like, is this supposed to have hooves or human feet? Because I saw a human foot, but I wasn't sure what I was supposed to see.
I should have rewinded that because that thing was so horrible looking. Like, it was just a little infant on it.
With, like, fuzzy horsehair.
Yeah.
Like,
what is this supposed to be?
So I was like, I don't know what that,
And
like,
then
a half human and a half centaur looks like, because the centaur is already half human. So
I think they try to explain it. I think later on they explained that if the centaur, first of all, how? But and then
that's the big first question.
Yeah, the big first question is, how did you get pregnant by a centaur? And then I didn't want to look it up, so like it was
that's
like,
fair. You have to use like your safe search when you look it up. You're gonna find some weird
like,
stuff.
This is just gonna have to be an unanswered question. But I think they established that if you have a baby with a centaur and it's a boy, it automatically is a centaur, where girls are just human.
Oh, that's an interesting rule.
And I think that I don't remember
something to do with those XY chromosomes.
Yeah, something about that makes you into a horse's ass. It's like,
bizarre. Well, I guess maybe that makes sense.
Yeah, but it was like, but yeah, that baby. It was like, how do you hold that? There were so many logistical questions.
You hold it like a dog.
Yeah,
so yeah, it's like a little dog with like the little legs.
Yeah,
sticking out. I don't even know.
And then how do you want to deal with an infant that can run around?
That's true, actually. That's a good point. I guess you get them a leash.
The deep question.
You get them some reins.
Yeah. It's like, stay here.
We wrapped you around like whatever that stable stuff is. Yeah.
Just put in a little pen. It's
like you're human, but you're kind of a wild animal. Yeah.
And I led you down this road of centaurs when you were talking about Xena's family.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I've been jumping around too.
But Xena's family, like, you know, that I'm going to tell you right now, that brother is never seen again.
The older brother?
Yeah, the older brother.
What's the point? I did like that he had the same haircut.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Like family.
Yeah.
Like we used to say
the family that gets the same haircut.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure that mom has that haircut.
Yeah, I don't remember how her look was. I just remember like seeing her disappointed face in the beginning, and like that's how I remember of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're never seen again. The younger brother is talked about a lot more, and then
because he died.
Because
so
he died.
We care about him, I guess.
Yeah, for the whole reason. Then there's something about there's a continuing thing of returning home, and whether you should return home. Like Gabrielle going home, that home and family. What makes home and family? Because clearly Xena, she could go home, but would she be satisfied?
Right.
And
she does mention when her brother is going home that she was like, not yet. So it's like, okay, you're not ready to.
Yeah. Or like, I mean, what else would she do? I guess she can own a farm. I mean, those.
I mean, I take it as like you can go visit and then go back to doing the rest of your life. But maybe she's interpreting go home as like settling.
Yeah, I think right now she is, where it's an uncomfortable spot.
Gotcha.
And then Gabrielle has that same like, should I go home or what is home type thing. When you like they say you can't go home again, and I think that's a constant question. What is home? Right. Can you go back to where you came from? What happens when you grow out of that place? Because I think for Gabrielle too, like there wasn't space for her then. She was just kind of settled, and if it wasn't for
she was gonna marry some dude, and that was it.
A dude, she like I guess it's up to you like how you want to do that, but she was running all over him. Yeah,
when he reappears, it's like,
and it's like, dude, it's like. I guess she can like lean into that, like other than fine, but like clearly she doesn't belong there, and she tells stories. And where does she belong? Does she belong with the bards? Does she belong with the Amazons?
Right. Yeah, now that she's a princess.
Yeah, and I love that they keep popping up, and that's part of her journey. But it's like, what is home? What is family? Because we're introduced to Gabrielle's whole family. Kind of. Like, I don't remember her mother and father. No. I think they're there.
I think you're right. I think they're there, but we only hear about the sister.
And then the same with Xena, where we get the scope of the whole family. And they definitely, Xena and Gabrielle are like, okay, we're going to have to make this our family, which is, like, part of the whole thing. It's like, it's becoming more, this is my best friend, this is my sister. And it's like, we are two oddballs.
Less of like master and pupil or whatever.
Yeah, and they're both definitely learning from each other. And I think that's kind of the cool thing of like, rather than being so pre-planned as a lot of shows are, that ability to grow within a space is kind of what's great with looking back at that now. They had time to like make mistakes,
figure it out,
and figure it out, and like. God bless him, because like you could have totally been out. Like
that's true.
I've seen a
now
lot.
Those shows they would have been canceled.
Yeah, they would have been canceled.
They would not have found what worked.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think they were like I had done some research and they're like number 3, so like it kind of bought them sometimes.
Yeah,
because I know a lot of syndicated shows. Like I used to love like I think it was like a female Zorro. It was called Queen of Swords.
That's cool.
And that was like 1 season. I swear we can like track it down. Like,
Queen of Swords.
Yeah.
Queen of Swords.
Yeah, Queen of Swords, and I love that show. It was only 1 season, and it was like syndicated.
But at least we did have some tough women shows in the.
Yeah, there was like I think Xena really like. I want to say that was the first in that first line. There was Hercules.
Like, I think it's clearly made by men based on a lot of the choices, but it's still like, she is badass, so.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll cut you guys some slack.
It was supposed to be the companion piece to, like, Hercules. So, yeah, like, Xena and they're, like, the counterpart. I mean, you have Hercules and the counterpart, Xena. And they were like, oh, cool, balance. But then after it picked up, you had so many other shows, like, I think by the time you get to something like Cleopatra 2525.
Oh.
You never heard of it?
No. A show about Cleopatra. That, I mean, that would be cool if done well.
No, you would think, like, I don't know what makes you think it's about Cleopatra.
Oh, it's not?
Like, it's in the year 2525, and it's like a girl, I don't even think her name is Cleopatra, but Gina Torres is in there with two other chicks, and they're like a crime-fighting group. They're leaders of a rebellion. I think they work for this lady named Cleopatra or something like that, and like they're trying to lead a rebellion in the future.
Okay.
With Neo.
It's an interesting concept.
Yeah, with like Neo, Xena Fashion Warrior.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, so because instead of like leather,
we go back to.
it's pleather and like lame, so glitter.
Like great, practical.
Yeah, so many people like credit Buffy, but around that, I feel like syndication. If you look into syndication, there are so many other women that got their own show from like Queen of Swords, or even if you would just have like episodes or shows like Robin Hood, which was like a syndicated Robin Hood. The Maid Marian in there was like badass.
Really?
She
That's cool.
And then
I only remember Robin Hood Men in Tights.
It was like that. If Robin Hood Men in Tights and Xena Warrior Princess had a baby.
Oh, okay.
And you would get
that sounds like a good show.
Yeah.
Or at least my kind of show.
Yeah, I believe reruns would come after Briscoe County Jr.
Okay. You like hit the rerun schedule just right.
Yeah. Oh, my Saturdays were in locked for like viewing.
Like, I have things to do.
Yeah. It's 11 hours of television, and I dare you to touch it.
That's funny.
Yeah, themes, characters. We see Joxer for the first time.
Yeah.
What were your
I thought he was so annoying. But, like, he seems like the type of character that I would typically find amusing, and I'm just, like, annoyed by him. Because he's just there.
Yeah.
Being a nuisance.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why. I feel like typically I would be like, comedic relief, but this time I'm just like, go away. Please.
Yeah. Joxer throws on you. He's one of those comic relief characters. It's like, I don't know why you're here.
Gotcha. So he'll come back.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Okay.
And like at the beginning, like not only will he be back, he'll have like expanded character.
Oh, okay. He'll have some more development.
Yeah,
that's probably
you find out he's a triplet.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, one is completely evil.
Okay.
And one is clearly, but it was like the 90s, so you can't really say, only imply that he was gay, but like, when you meet Jance, it's like, you're gay.
It's unique for an older show.
Yeah. Xena and Hercules, they would never outright say it, because honestly, by being in syndication, they had to sell space. So ad people was like, you cannot, blah, blah, blah. But, it's like you have to. It would be implied and do it like that.
That's interesting.
So myths and legends,
yeah,
because we're in ancient Greece,
right? The first couple of episodes, I don't know why, but I was like, where are they? Are they in Greece or is it Rome? And I had to double check the gods' names. Oh, okay, they're Greek gods. Now I get it. I get where the setting is. But yeah, some of it I was very confused by.
Yeah, I think so too. And then like I read somewhere like they're gonna go all over. Eventually, like I said, they'll end up in China and India and everything like that. But
well, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I do enjoy, or sometimes it was just like jarring when I guess when. I mean, it's Greece and ancient Mesopotamia, so it's like, oh, we have the Ark of the Covenant. In this random episode.
And the Trojan horse and another. Like, okay. Maybe these are from the same time. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's another thing. It's like my brain wanted to logically work. And then all of a sudden you would have like the Trojan War in next to the Ark of the Covenant, next to Abraham and Isaac or something.
Yeah, they call him, so it's Isaac in the Bible, right? But they call him Icus. And Xena. I think that's funny. Yeah. But it worked for like the story, and The name's believable.
And it's like, or like I said, Pandora's Box. There's a whole episode about Prometheus, and it's like, okay, so Tara, why are you being logical about it? Right. You're a logical show.
Yep. I did the same thing though. I was like, oh, it's cool that they're bringing like historical elements and like mythology and even like the Bible into it. And it's like I just had to just be like, oh, it's cool that they are just including all these old things together.
And like clearly they were doing everything but the kitchen sink. And they were like, oh,
they might have thought about the kitchen sink. They're like, not yet at least.
Not yet. No, but there are things you're like, okay, I'm watching an episode of Xena, and this is produced by Sam Raimi. And it's like, what else you're gonna do?
Yeah. Go big or go home, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty funny. But the storytelling episode was probably the one that I had the strongest reaction to. Because I did just like that they're like going through the storytelling process, and you're like, oh, that's just Gabrielle's strong suit. And then at the end, it's revealed that the gentleman who wanted to be called by a different name because he hated his name was Homer. I was like the Odyssey, and I was like, oh, it's the Odyssey.
Or the fact that it's nice. Like my dad's gonna call me the blind the blind poet because I always close my eyes. Yeah. What I was excited is at the beginning, the one that would have like this flowery speech. It was Euripides.
Yes.
And I was so excited.
And I just like that they also were like, okay, like we get it. We get what you mean.
Yeah.
Stop with your plurally, very descriptive sentences.
Yeah. I also love that show because it's like a good old-fashioned clip show, which is like, a clip show is always like, hey, we ran out of money, but we're, we have to do one more episode.
Right.
So we're just going to take the footage from other episodes and pretend like we're remembering this, and it's going to fill out the whole hour.
Like, it's a recap. Like, it seems a little early for this, but okay.
Yeah. And my favorite thing is that they put clips from, like, when, I forget the guy's name, but when he's telling his story, the action story, they put the Italian Hercules movies in there.
Oh, is that where they're from? Yeah. That's really funny.
And some of the claymation, like Jason and the Argonauts, and I forgot that happened. Yeah. And when that happens, it was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. And it was like...
Yeah, I was like, most of this footage is from old Xena, and I didn't think to look where the other stuff is from. So that's pretty funny.
See, I just know because I watch crazy crap like that. But, like, I was like, no, you don't have Hercules.
You're going to be really good at trivia, too. My scope is broad.
Yeah, I was like, hell yeah. Hercules and the Venus woman, bring it. Like, let's do it.
Yeah, I did like that. I look forward to the other, like, myths we come across. Although with Pandora's Box, it was funny that at the end you discover it's empty. Like, oh.
And they try to have us in here. There's always hope, it's inside of us.
Right. It's ridiculous. But yeah, it's funny. I like that. So far I do like it. I was concerned in the beginning that I was like, oh no, I committed to 6 seasons of this. What if it's all this bad? And I'm glad that it picked up, or that I just got used to it so that it was more enjoyable.
Yeah, I think when you relax and you're like, this is what Xena is.
It's campy, and that's part of the fun.
Yeah, and it's like, I think that's why I kind of enjoy something like Sam Raimi, because it's like, it's campy because it's what he's learned to put his own sense of humor with not having any money. Right. And it's funny because, like, when he finally does get money, you have something like, Spider-Man or whatever, you can see where he struggles. It seems like he's
used to a smaller budget.
Yeah, or he needs some type of resistance in order to, like, or like I say, like, because I kind of have the same problem where I fight better from a corner. And it's like, no, I can't have all of this. I need to be from here.
It does seem, I think, probably just because that's what we're used to, is that we have to fight in order to get anything. So we're just used to having that. If something comes easily, we're like, this is something is not right here.
Yeah, something is not right.
I'm not comfortable. I'm suspicious.
Yeah, and you're someone with such imagination, you do need someone to be like, no, you can't do that.
Oh yeah, that's true too. It's going to cost $1 zillion.
You You just say, or just no, period. It's like, okay, I'm going to give you centaurs and this and this and this, but it's like...
We're going to take it from somewhere else.
Yeah. It's a clip show.
That's why we're going to have that clip, yeah. Because we gave you centaurs.
Yeah, we gave you centaurs. And you used it all. No, I think they used it all on the harpies.
Yeah, I think the animation probably cost a lot.
Mm-hmm. And they were like, we'll never do that again.
I sure hope not. I was like watching the episode going, this is awful. It's like the worst animation of the 90s. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, we'll see later. Like, I have nothing to compare it with.
Yeah. I mean, I was just thinking like cartoons from the 90s.
Yeah.
They should have just snagged one of those animators.
Oh, you would think so, but then you see things like Spawn, and it's like, oh my god, they were just so excited because this was a new thing and didn't know how to use it.
Gotcha. They're like, we're gonna use new technology. But I did think, I was like, oh man, they shot this on film, which
is gorgeous.
Yeah, but I just also like, everything's digital now, so I had to go, oh, right, that means if they had to do a lot of takes, which they probably have to because it's the action, like, that costs a lot of money to process it and get it ready for television viewing. I was like, oh, actually, okay, working with what they had, it's not so bad. It's not like a masterpiece, but I was judging it very harshly from the get-go, and then I started to go, okay, actually, I'll see this for what it is, instead of putting too many hopes into it. But yeah.
Yeah, so all your dinars.
No, yes.
One jar.
Yeah, dinar for your thoughts.
Yeah, dinars for your thoughts.
Yeah, so I do kind of, I'm interested to see what happens